till the war is over and we're both a little older. The unknown soldier. Breakfast where the news is read, television, children fed, unborn living, living dead. Bullet strikes the helmet's head, and it's all over for the unknown soldier. It's all over for the unknown soldier. Make a grave for the unknown soldier, nestled in your hollow shoulder. The unknown soldier. Back is where the news is read, television, children fed. Bullet strikes the helmet's head, it's all over. The war is over. It's all over. War is
Paul REESE on tonight.
Hello.
Paul.
Hello.
Hello. Say hello to the audience out there, kid.
Hello.
Hello. Okay.
Hello.
Tonight we're gonna talk about something interesting, I think. But Steve.
Openers.
Openers. We're gonna talk about Paul REESE's being mugged by President Nixon. No. Tonight we're gonna talk
Yeah, I
about.
was down in Washington, came out and they clubbed me.
Right.
Now I have to go all the way over
Right.
to California to get clubbed.
You had the
So I
tapes
said
or
the hell
something.
with it.
Okay, tonight we're going to talk about the Army, the
Yeah.
Army life, and how it affected Steve Russell's life, and how it affected Paul REESE's life. To begin with, gentlemen, took that little finesse I gave there, gentlemen.
Oh, thank you.
Okay.
I can't remember the last time I was called a gentleman.
All right, lady.
That's a new one too.
Has cute legs there. Oh, okay.
Oh, damn. I forgot to shave them.
It's all right. Hairy girls, okay, right? Okay.
Fellas, take it easy, Mike. Control them.
Going wide, I'm burning up here, right? Okay. We're gonna have the nuts tonight here. Okay. I really wanted to have you guys here tonight because, you know, talking about the Army, you guys both had some pretty interesting experiences with the Army. And let's just get right into it. I'll take, who wants to go first? Who shall I ask first?
He can go first.
Okay, Stevie, baby?
Stevie, baby.
Yes, sir.
In all seriousness now, okay, you had a big problem with the Army when we were in the Vietnam War, right? And you had a brother at the time. And just want to talk about the general attitude about the Army towards you and then you want to swing into the whole situation that occurred.
Actually, you never had a problem with the Army. You had a problem with the Selective Service.
With
Right,
the Selective Service people, that's right.
Right, how vicious they were and
Right.
how very sadistic they
That's
were.
I
right.
had both.
Right. Right.
Right. And
Paul
what-
will tell us about that.
Okay.
But as far as my my involvement with the Selective Service Board was when I reached the age, to sign up for the Selective Service, and I went down to. Oh, okay. Let's play the national anthem
I
now.
want to play Hail for the Chief.
Okay.
Paul's gonna sing it at the end of the show.
Yes.
All right, go ahead. Go on. Go ahead, Steve.
I'm sorry, but when I sit next to this guy, he just completely
Go
does
ahead
these
and
things to
talk.
me.
You're wasting tape.
He has two heads.
No, seriously now. When I was called down in front of the Selective Service Board, I was always put through a lot of, which I felt were a lot of personal questions that I don't think was any of their business. Number one, they wanted to know your whole life history. They wanted to know how much you made, how much was, I was claiming a dependency because my father was dead, and I was claiming a dependency on head of household, which they were giving me a 3A classification for. And they wanted to know where every cent of my salary went as far as, how much was contributed out to the family.
Right.
And what
right.
percentage they thought that the family should get, if it was enough, if the family could have got along without what I was giving them. They even had to know as far as how much monies were coming in from securities or other things that maybe my family had. They
Little
wanted to
FBI
know.
like.
Right, that's right. They had to know everything. They wanted a complete history of your
Right.
background. And once these files were made on you, you could never see them again. They had the file. But God forbid you had forgotten what you put in there and you wanted to
It's like
see.
a trap, like.
Yeah, right.
Right.
And I imagine if something was a little wrong, off on,
Come back at you.
you had it because, they're going to try to...
What was the general atmosphere when you go down? How did they sort of treat you? Was it like a criminal or?
Yeah, like a criminal. You thought you were a herded animal, herded into a room. They told you to be there at 7:30. I precisely remember this because it was 7:30 all the time. Get there at 7:30, and you sit around in a room with a bunch of other people, and it was sort of like the cattle waiting for the slaughter. These guys were the masters on your life, and they sat there at their big conference table and decided whether you were going to live or you were going to die, more or less,
Right.
in or out. And they thought of it as being a way that this was a non-salary type thing for them. So they were doing this out of just
Kind to their
patriotism.
heart.
Yeah, right.
Right.
This was a big patriotic thing. Like I'm doing this for my government, giving my nights a week freedom to sit here and sit on this here board, and they get paid like a penny a year or whatever the heck they said they got.
Right. So generally, the atmosphere was like you were lucky that they were seeing you, and that you were lucky that we're actually, looking at you, and hopefully, maybe we'll let you go.
Yeah,
It's kinda
that's
like,
right.
Was there any kind of sadistic type of situations that you could remember? Did they, do anything sadistic-wise? We want to float that later on or something, as we progress?
Well, if you want,
I'll leave it to you. Yeah, do it right now if you want to just...
All right. What I wanted to bring out was when it came to a point, I had another brother then who had to go down to the board with me, who had reached the age. And we walked into the room and we were put before this here meeting. They came out very bluntly and told us, they didn't care which of the two of us were going to be drafted first. Now, they would have rather had me first because I guess to them, like I was number one that they wanted.
Fading,
But,
right.
we'll accept him.
It's a token.
Right, because we'll get you in the 2 years after his is over. And since I already had a job and he hadn't been working, they figured, well, by the time he looks for a job to pick up the head of household thing and all, it was better off leaving me with the title, wait another 2 years, and then call me back again.
Right, I see. Right. Okay, Steve, we'll be back with you in a few seconds. But I want to try to get this progression of steps going up, because I know we're going to get deeper into what you're just saying now before, okay? But let's throw into him. Let's throw this Casanova. He's trying here.
Excuse me.
He's
I'm coming down for coal.
cold. His dolly, he's holding his doll to his chest here. It's a really fantastic sentimental view. Okay.
My security blankets.
Keeps him warm at night.
Keep
It's
my
my life.
Right? Okay, Paul, I want to try to bring this up to the same level that we have it on Steve. Okay.
Well, I never really.
Well, hold on. Okay, here we go. You're 18, right?
Yeah,
and all
I
of a sudden,
signed up for
Uncle
this.
Sam blows the trumpet and says, okay, time for you, Paul. What happened to you?
Well, I went down normally and got my draft card and everything. I never
Right.
really had any trouble with the Selective Service to begin with. I just went through the normal course. They called me down for my physical, and I took the physical, and then they called me down to get drafted. I never had trouble with like the service system. I had trouble with the
How'd you
Army
feel?
in general.
How did you feel when you were being drafted?
Well,
When you received your notice?
when I refused, I didn't really care too much for the idea going in, as I really don't like regimented life. And I'm very well, more or less of an, try and be more or less of an individual, while
Casual type of life, right?
they're more rigid. They expect you to give up your individualism, and that's something that the Army does press.
Okay.
So how I felt what it wasn't because of the war. I really didn't have.
we were
I was 19 at the time. I really didn't. I didn't reach a point where I was really into any kind of political standpoints or anything like that. And, you know, there was a war and that was it. It was just, you know, like a war and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay, good. So what happened? So like.
So after I went in, I started to actually realize that, in my opinion, that the Army is run by at least a bunch of sadists.
Right.
So I went in, you know, like first I noticed first of all, they didn't like anybody from the north.
Oh, you were stationed down south.
I was stationed in South Carolina. I didn't care for people from the north, and one of my biggest mistakes was to say I was from Brooklyn. I never
Brooklyn
regret.
South.
South Brooklyn, you should have said you were from.
Hi, you all. Bringing the Confederate flag and, you know, Jackson. Hey, you all. How you doing, boy?
Oh no, so you always got like a little bit rubbing like that, and I was in the reception area for a week. And that's where, you know, they say, ha ha ha, comb your hair tonight, because tomorrow you ain't gonna have none.
Seriously? Oh, my
Yeah,
God.
and stuff like that. Yeah, I remember when we went into, first day we went there, we went down there and we were issued blankets, you know, sleeping these reception center barracks that we were there for about a week. And we went in there and he's giving us the blankets and stuff like that. And he said, comb your curly locks tonight, because tomorrow you're not gonna have any. So, you know, so we were hustled around, well, I got drafted at 8 in the morning. I didn't get down to the base until about 3 in the morning the following day. And then we were hustled off for a lunch or breakfast, you know, they put us gave us the consolidated mess in the reception area. They gave us 2 stale pieces of dried out toast that must have been left over from last morning's breakfast, and if you got any leftover pancakes or stuff like that, you know. And then besides, as you're going down the line, they're harassing you, kicking you in the ass and shit like that.
Really?
Yeah, and stuff like that. Or they run up to you, you're not eating fast enough and stuff
They
like
actually
that.
use physical violence?
You push you, kick you, shove you, yeah.
God.
So that was my first thing where I thought that this was going to be a little bit worse than what I thought it was originally going to be, you know. But I said, I got to keep my cool or whatever, you know. So
You were willing to play the game to begin with.
I didn't think I was going to.
Okay, hold on for 1 second. Steve, were you willing to play the game with the draft board?
I guess in the beginning I was, but as it went along, you know, I don't know. I guess I would have to say yes. In the beginning, I was going to play the game with them and try to find the way out. You know, I figured I had a way here, and if I would manipulate it a little bit, I could, you
You
know.
survived the game.
Yeah, right, and get. But as it went on, then I guess it got to me where they got, you know, to a point where I definitely knew that I wasn't going to let them win.
Okay. Now, before I get to your breaking point, let's hear his breaking point, and then we'll come back to your breaking point. Okay, Paul. So good. So
There's a lot of things I should have to tell you before my actual.
Oh yeah,
breaking
that's what I
point,
mean.
you
Let's
know what
bring
I
it
mean?
up.
But,
We'll bring it up.
but you know, there was a lot of things that I didn't like in the beginning, but it wasn't actually up to my breaking point. You know
Right.
what I
Like
mean?
Tommy took away your
I-
ice cream pop from you.
Yeah. No, so then, you know, the next, I'm just trying to give you step
Yeah,
by
okay,
step how
fine.
they induct you and stuff like
Right.
that and what you go through. The next day we got our hair cut, and that was like a big joke to them, you know what I mean?
Was your
Yeah.
hair long?
Yeah, it was longer than it is now. It was more down. I think it was a little longer than this, so maybe the same length or a little bit longer. And everybody had long hair down to their shoulders and stuff like that. You know, it was a general thing. You know, back then it was
Right.
68.
Right.
And we went in, and they said they used to make jokes like, how you like your haircut, trim? Like that, so you say it's trim and they shave you right down the middle of your skull. So you'd have all your hair on one side, all your hair on the other side of the blank thing, and they
Oh.
always kept your face toward the mirror as they're shaving your head,
Sadistic delight.
like that.
That's right.
You know, and they really got a
The
charge, and besides that, they charge you 50 cents or whatever it was at the time
Seriously?
for the haircut.
Nerve.
Because when we first got the
I didn't think you
reception
were going
down,
to pay Richard.
down to the reception area, after we got the haircut, and then after we got the haircut and the other thing, but I'm jumping ahead of a little bit, so I won't do that. Then after we got our head shaved, we went through this fantastic, gigantic warehouse where they gave you the clothes. And you get fitted 1, 2, 3, it's like a machine, everything's like a machine. This guy measures arms, this guy measures legs, and this guy measures chest. This guy measures. I had one guy got mad at me because my feet weren't. I have flat feet. My feet weren't for regulation size army shoes. So he was pissed off because he had to find a pair of shoes that fit me. And I wasn't going through like regulation. I was stuck there for about a half an hour with the shoes. And the guy, God damn it, I don't know why they draft these type of people. You know.
Really? Oh, wow.
You know, he said, I don't know why they draft these type of people. He says, the fit. And he's going back and forth, and I'm having a good time saying, they feel a little tight over here. You know, and stuff like that. So after after half an hour, he finally got a pair of boots to fit me. You know, you got 2 pairs of boots and 1 pair of dress shoes, and I got out of there, and I think I messed up his whole day or something like that. You know, he's really couldn't see anything change from regulation in the
He was so
army.
perturbed about
They see they go by
reality.
the book. It's supposed to take a certain amount of time and stuff, and I was breaking his normal. There's of course a pattern of the day in the
Christ.
army is all regulated, but and that and that and that. All right, so after that, you know, we got harassment from them too. They chose the clothes in our face. They give you underwear 10 sizes too big, and say, "Don't worry, they'll fit anyway," and stuff like that. I used to have underwear until this day just fits me now. Since I gained 30 pounds since I left the army, the undershirts finally fit me. You know, because I was much thinner then.
So
And
we
now
pay
they-
for this.
so actually, you were experiencing a certain type
kind of degradation of
Right.
spirit and individualism and
Right.
stuff like that. Yeah, they would. I
And-
noticed the psychology of the army. I learned as I was going through. They have one thing of psychology, and from the first time you step into an army base, it's all to
Right.
break your spirit down.
And
of
Steve, you
individualism.
were experiencing a certain amount of sadism in terms of like you're lucky that you're not experiencing this type of sadism.
That's right. That's right. That you're lucky you're still here, and we don't
Yeah.
have you. You know what's coming.
But
Yeah.
we're gonna try to give you as much as we can right here, and let
Right,
you
and we'll
sweat it out.
right, and then you're going to get the zingo, and you're going to
Okay.
go anyway.
Okay, go ahead, Paul.
So after that, I don't know if we got our shots before that, but we go into a big line. They shoot you with guns with the shots and stuff like that. And they be yelling at you, don't move, don't move. And I seen a lot of people move with these air guns, and they got a gash across their arm,
Aye.
and bleeding
Yeah.
come down. You had to be very stick, and they got very aggravated if you moved and stuff like that. And then they came to the part where you had to take out insurance on your life. And they said, well,
God.
we think that you should take out the full $10,000 policy because your chances aren't too good coming in at the army at this time, but that's the way it is, so what do you like?
Are you serious?
And that's
Really?
what they said. They said, you know, like that. So I said, well, you know, give me the $10,000 worth of insurance. You know, and they said that there'd be a certain amount deducted from your pay and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. All right, so after we had the insurance and we had to sit down and wait to find out what basic training company. Then this is really where the story starts as soon as I get to the basic training company.
Okay.
This is just the mild things. This is mild compared to a lot of the things that I saw after that. So after that, we kept pick up our pay, you know, because we had to have some money while we were down there. So that's when they gave us whatever money, and then they had minus haircut, minus this, minus that, minus the other thing, you know, insurance and this and that. And finally I got into C51, Company C, 5th Battalion, 1st Training Brigade. So they said, you know, they give Sniper Mark, he said, you're going up to the hill, There's a big tank hill, and this is the roughest area for basic training was on Tank Hill. In the other areas, there were other areas, but meaning me and my luck, I would get into one of the,
Did they tell you going to
the worst.
Vietnam? Did they tell you that you were going to?
They really
Big
said that, more or less, they say that your chances were very good that you would go.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, but there's one thing that I forgot to tell you. I'm sorry, I forget. This was like a long time ago. Before they sent us to this battalion, they tried to get you to enlist for 3 years,
God.
saying that if you enlist, your chances of going to Vietnam are less. and you get a choice of what school you want to go, and this and that. And they brought us into this big lecture hall, and they're doing this and blah, blah, blah. And then we had to go, everybody had to go into a small office and talk to the little guy behind the desk who would even try to drill it into your more to enlist, you know. And some people fell sucker to this. They said, oh. And they
Get out of
enlisted.
Vietnam, right?
Yeah,
So
right.
as
I'll do
soon as
anything
you,
for that.
all right. So as soon as you didn't, you went to the small office and you refused to enlist, you throw you out of the office and put you in some shitty area where you couldn't smoke, and where you had to pick up garbage and stuff like that. And the people that they conned into enlisting
Getting the best
would
treatment.
get best treatment, nice soft thing, sit down, you can smoke and this and that and the other thing. Okay, so finally we get outside and they form us into a formation, the whole group that came from the reception center and stuff like that. And what sergeant come out and said, how many of you people enlisted? And people thinking that they're smart, you know. Yeah. And you know what he said? You stupid fucks. Excuse my language, but that's what he said. He says, you don't have any less chance of going to Vietnam, and you probably very well may not get what you want anyway. And it says, and you just got another year to spend in this dump. He says, look at me. He says, I'm U.S., and in 5 more days I get the hell out of here, and I am glad. So after that, he said, all you people that enlisted, you go over there and you pick up the cigarette butts. All you people that didn't enlist, you can stand around and smoke for a while. And it's
Wow.
really impressive. It blew a lot of minds when they first got out. When they first got right out after they enlisted, and they couldn't do a damn thing about it. They signed their name to the paper, and that was it. They had thrown another year of their life away. This is all in the psychology. They get you in the beginning where they think you're the scaredest and stuff like that. And this is besides the numerous tests that we had to go through. See, there's a lot of things before you get to basic that are done in a short period of time.
Rush you through like animals.
Well, we had this listening a test, and I got up to the officers training. Took a selection of test, going up further. If you flunked the first test, a whole bunch of people would go out. They would be cannon fodder. In other words, they would be most likely to go into infantry if you didn't pass the first couple of tests or whatever. And then as you go, I got up to the officers training test and passed the officers training test, and they asked me if I wanted to go to officers training school after basic training, and I said no. So that put me on another little bit of probably their shit list too, you know what I mean? They figure like, what the hell this guy is? He says we offer him this and that, and he doesn't want nothing, you know what I mean? So, all right, so getting rid of that, we all got packed into a truck. Last thing we heard from the reception center said, you think it was bad here, wait until you get over there. So we're being driven up there, right? And we're driving up to the basic training area. We pull into it, stop, and then all hell broke loose from out of nowhere. We were just trying to get out of the truck, out from all these people to train you, you know, the sergeants, the corporals, and thing, and they pulled us off the truck, threw you on the floor, yelled at you, screamed at you, made you go to low crawls, this and that, and
Where was
they
this?
constantly screaming. And this was the first day we got into basic training. This was
Where was
0
it?
week.
What fort was it? Let's just say what state and fort this was in.
This was Fort Jackson, South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina.
It's a good place.
So, and one kid,
Well,
they threw off the truck, he broke his leg, and, you know, because he fell off the truck, so they had to put him in the ambulance, but he was lucky. His leg was broken so bad that they had to discharge him, so that was like one
Really?
off from there, and everybody saying, Jesus, well, he wasn't funny in the beginning because the person was in a lot of pain, and they thought he was falling, and they were giving him a little bit of kicks here and there. See, they thought he was, you know, rolling around. So they were kicking him here and there, and then actually after his face started to turn blue with pain, they figured that he wasn't fooling around, and they got him in an ambulance and took him out. And we didn't hear until later that he was discharged. You know.
Lucky they just
Like
didn't
that.
push him on the side and say, well, forget about him.
Right.
So we were going through, they made us go through low crawls. I got kicked in the stomach, and then I got up and started. That's one of the few things I got up and told him, like, I said, what the fuck do you think you're doing? And he kicked me again and pushed me down. So I figured, so I was going back to crawling, thinking that, then I was thinking that, no, this isn't going to work, you know what I mean?
Talking back to them, right?
So, I'm crawling, they made us a man carry. We had to run up a big gigantic hill with a man on our back. And we weren't used to this. I mean, like, they didn't break you in slow. They just made you do people are dropping left and right from exhaustion and stuff like that. And they did this every day for 5 days. Each people that came in, they'd bring people in for 5 days.
Yeah.
I was in the beginning of 0 week. The thing wasn't filled until the last day.
Take care.
The last day of the week. You know? So we had to go through this every day. I mean, if you came in at the beginning of 0 week, it was worse because you would have to go through this 5 times. Well, if you came the second, it'd be 4, third, it'd be 3, fourth, it'd be 2, and if you came on Friday, you're the luckiest. You only had to go through it through, you know, the week that didn't count for 1 day.
Right.
So, you know, there was general thing. They used to put you down. They used to call you shitheads. You're not a human in here. You belong to the property of the United States Army. Whatever you do, the Army. You have to be responsible to the Army, this and that and the other thing. You have no life of your own, you know, general stuff like that. We went in to get our bedding there. They threw it in the face. If you didn't like it, they kicked you in the ass. A lot of physical contact.
Abuse. A lot of physical abuse.
Yeah. So that was after the first week of 0 week, and I seen a lot of people crack. I saw one kid that was during training in the morning got up, and he called us all a bunch of shitheads. You know, you bunch of shitheads, blah blah blah. You're nothing but a bunch of dickheads and this and that. You pig fuckers. That was another nice word they used to call us, pig fuckers, and stuff like that.
Yeah, this is the U.S. Army. People that you pay salary to with your taxes.
And these are the
We pay
training.
them, and then look what they do to you.
You pig fuckers and shit like that, you know. So one kid got mad. It was a big, and this little second lieutenant, I forgot his name. So his name was Murphy. He was a real, grade A prick.
So smart, probably insecure about himself.
Yeah. He just got out of lieutenant school, you know.
Had to prove himself completely, right?
Yeah. So this kid got really aggravated. He yelled out, "Sir, I am not a shithead."
Ooh.
And the second lieutenant come over
Stunned
and
him.
Murphy like that. Went up to him, grabbed him, and says, "When I say you're a shithead, you're a shithead." And then the kid flattened him.
Beautiful. Oh, beautiful.
But he made a mistake. Because after he flattened him, they all grabbed him, dragged him into the orderly room. All the people that were there, you know, trainers and stuff like that, you know, the permanent party that was there, gave him one hell of a beating inside of the thing, including the lieutenant that he flattened after he woke up. He went in to get his legs too, as we were marching out, and I heard him screaming and yelling. He was really putting under some kind of a pain. They were punching him all over the place and stuff like that. And then after that, he came back into, you know, regular duty. He had an Article 15 slapped against him, which was like, you know, you had to withhold pay and stuff like that. And he was like, he did it again. He hit the captain.
You're kidding me.
Yeah, because he went over and the captain was walking by and he was walking down. He just socked the captain one right in the fucking mouth. The guy was big.
Oh, God.
And he knocked the captain on his ass. And then after that, he went to the stockade and had a court-martial. And next time I saw him, he was walking with the gun in front, a guy with a rifle in front of him loaded, and a guy with a rifle in back of him loaded. Walking him, you know, around. I don't know what the hell they were walking him around for, but I heard rumors that he also had hit the colonel.
My God. This guy was just a regular freak. He just didn't want to take any shit from anybody.
Yeah, but he did it the wrong way.
He just did it like too obviously.
Yeah, because like the first thing I noticed is that when I first got down to basic training, and I was disgusted. They had put pamphlets on our bed saying, "Don't go AWOL, it doesn't pay." They were telling me. So I figured anything that they tell you doesn't pay, must pay. You know?
Reverse psychology.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I figured, and you know, like I stayed there 2 weeks in the basic training, and I really got fed up like that. I said, before I do anything really rash, I'll just see if I can. And they degraded you, kicked you. They had a fat man's platoon with everybody that was overweight. Sergeant would call out, had given everybody the fat man platoon, right? They all knew who they were. during regular training, like marching and stuff like that, when everybody else could sit down and rest for about 5 minutes, the sergeant, I can't face if I can remember his name. Well, anyway, the name isn't important. Called them out, saying, "Fat boy platoon, front and center." You know, and they all run out, blah blah blah, and he proceeded to beat them in the stomach while everybody was resting. You know, to work off the fat in the stomach, and he wasn't giving them easy shots, and a lot of them threw up and stuff like that. And after they threw up, he said, "Don't worry, it's less calories for you. If you came up, it won't go on you," and stuff like that.
God.
And I found that very brutal, you know, very, you know, extremely, you know, brutal. But that still didn't really get me up to my breaking point. First time when I got to my breaking point was when I was on the field during bayonet practice, and I saw all these people around me change so much, as they actually looked like to me that the majority of them were becoming robots. And I wasn't generally gelling into their thing anyway. You know what I mean? I wasn't falling into their things and stuff like that, but I was keeping myself cool. So then one day they said, like, they were saying, "What's the spirit of the bayonet?" And the guy up in front yells, "Now you yell to kill," and everybody was going, "Kill, kill, 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 kill." And then he said one thing that really, really got me aggravated. He says, "When you go on for Vietnam, you're going to kill babies, women, old men, children, everything that walks or crawls. You're going to kill, 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 kill." Then that was that. I didn't pick up my bayonet and go kill, kill, kill. I kept it to my side. And then one of them came up to me and said, "How come you're not partaking?"
Taking, my God.
And I said, "I don't believe I'm going to kill any old women or children and stuff." "You better when you go over there. You don't know how it is over there. They're all commies. They're all this and all that." So I proceeded. I just took my rifle and went and walked.
Oh my God.
And I walked away. So he came up after me and said, "Come on, let me take you in the woods." And he said, "We can have it out there." And I said, "I don't want to fight you." I said like that, "But I'm not going to kill no children, women, or anything else you want me to kill." And I proceeded to walk away again. So that got him mad.
Beautiful.
Like that. But he couldn't do nothing because I wouldn't go in the woods with him and I stay right in the area, so he couldn't do anything. Well,
Was he big? Was he a tough guy?
yeah. He was much bigger than me. So I figured that night, well, this is the type of night that I'm going to split.
Oh my God.
I said, I already told them how I felt. And I said, this is my night that I'm going to split. So I didn't know it was an open fort. So I really did everything Jane Bondage. First of all, be on the safe side, I wasn't sure. I never turned in my civilian clothes to be packed up. I hid them. In the side, because just in case I needed them. So one night when we were going to sleep, I forget what night it was. I think it was a Sunday night, but I'm not sure. But I'm pretty sure it was a Sunday night. Sleep and wait until everybody went to bed. Now, I was so stupid that I really didn't have to go through all of this. Because I found out in my other AWOLs that I did after this first one. You know? So what I did was, I put on my civilian clothes first, and I put on my army clothes over the civilian clothes, the khakis to screen me out in the woods so they wouldn't see me walking through. I figured they would camouflage. You know, like they would
Right.
So I had my suit jacket underneath there, this and that and the other thing. And the fatigues that they gave you were made to put stuff under because it was so big. And that was one time that I was really glad that they gave it to me too big. You know? I went into the woods and I was lost in the woods, crawling through under barbed wire, through swamps and stuff like that. Was lost for about 4 hours trying to find my way out of there. One time I ended up right outside, right in the middle of the rifle range, but it was night. There was nobody on it, but there was a guard out there saying, "Who are you?" And I saw him. and I cut back into the woods.
Flip it out.
Yeah, I cut back in the woods and I lost them, you know. So I'm keeping on walking. It's about 4 hours later, and then I went through this. I remember when I found it because I went through this big patch of frogs. I was walking through and I disturbed a whole bunch of frogs and they all started going. I was going frogs flying all over.
Don't you wish you were in the army now, kids? Go ahead.
So I finally looked up because the frogs were going like that, and I saw a dry cleaning place, and it had a civilian name on it.
You knew it, you were out.
I said, it doesn't say Army Dry Cleaning, it had some Harry's Dry Cleaning or something like that, so I knew that was it. And then I also, as I was walking up the road, I also noticed it was an open fort because it was just the road that was let out, right out of the fort, nowhere. So as I'm walking down the road, and I'm walking down the road and I took out my fatigue jacket and threw it over there, and I'm walking down and I took off the fatigue shirt, threw it over there, and I'm walking down, threw off my fatigue pants and boots and took the civilian shoes that I had out of my back pocket and put them on. And I was all dressed up. The only thing that I had was a bald head.
Not too obvious, really.
Yeah, so
Clear
to-
president or
to-
something like
to,
that. Redneck there, okay?
I had this big hat with me that covered up my head.
That's good.
And I put it on, but I had proceeded to walk down the road.
Where were you going there? What were we going to do? You just wanted to split. You just wanted to get the hell out of there.
Yeah, so I got out. And I was in complete civilian dress.
So go ahead, go on. If fast this is...
Now there's a problem with getting to the airport. Now I'm in an area where it's not actually in the city of Columbia. It's not anywhere. It's in the middle of nowhere. And I'm not a South Carolinian, and I had to find the airport.
Oh my God.
So for another 3 hours, I had left at about 9. It was now about 1 o'clock in the morning when I finally found my way out. And I walked down and I came to a crossroads. I must have walked about 5 miles down the road, and I came to a crossroads saying Camden 20 miles, Columbia 15. So I walked all the way down that 15 miles. I got there at about 6:30 in the morning, and
By
finally...
this time I knew that you were gone.
I don't think so. Yeah, but probably by right around now they knew I was gone. So I got there, and somebody picked me up as a hitchhiker. Drove me into town to a cab stand. I jumped in the cab stand, went right out of the airport, got in the airport at 8 in the morning. Now I had to do something because I didn't know if they were actually going to go out after me, so what I had to do was I had to give an alias on my plane ticket, so I called myself Henry Baker.
Christ.
So in case that they were looking for a list on the thing, they wouldn't see anybody
All James
on
Bond
there.
style completely, huh?
Like that, and then I got on the plane, flew home, got into New York about 12, this was no sleep now, about 12:30, 1 o'clock the next afternoon. Then I had to landed in Newark Airport, so I had to take a bus from Newark Airport all the way into New York and finally got home. So I went home and my mother dropped dead.
What are you doing here?
I said I had enough of it. You know, there's a lot of shit. I'm not gonna go back there and stuff like that. But when my father got home, he collared me. And the next day, I was on my way back on the train.
Oh my God, are you serious? When your father said you're going back?
Yeah, he said you're gonna get in trouble up here. So down on the train, down there.
You must have been flipping out.
He went with me to make sure I got down there.
Holy cow.
So I got down there. And they all said, I don't know where the hell you got out of here and stuff like that. Blah, blah, blah.
Your father was with you?
Yeah, this ain't never going to happen again, blah, 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 and stuff like
And what were
that.
they telling your father?
Oh, the army's nice, this and that.
The whole illusions, right?
Yeah, well, you're a former army man, you should know. Here, we'll take you into the mess hall and stuff like that. You can eat, and they were very, very nice to the people while my father was there in the mess hall. Because usually what they did in the mess hall was after you got your food, you're only allowed to go up there once. When you started eating, the guy come around, you're taking too long, eat, you're taking too long, eat! Like that. And how could you eat? Having this guy yelling, you're sitting down and this guy's yelling at you to eat. Well, one time I took my tray up, so that worked out. And I can't eat here, so I went down and went to a commissary and bought my own food over there. They got aggravated at that, but I didn't do it too much toward the beginning, but I did it toward my last couple of days of the
Alright, so yeah, go on.
So finally, they want to know where I put my clothes. I said, I don't know where the hell my clothes are. I said, I threw some of them in the woods when I found that I got
It
out.
sounds kind of very mild about it, though.
Like that. Huh?
It sounded like a kind of like...
No, they really didn't do much to me because I was only gone for a day and
Oh,
like that
I
in the
see, I see.
beginning.
It wasn't
So,
I see.
and my father was down there too, probably, which is another reason why they probably didn't,
Go bananas on you.
go bananas on me too.
Okay.
So what I got for it after I found my clothes, whatever I could find of them, which was just about nothing. They said they were going to charge me, but then again they forgot about it and I never got the, so I was just short of a field jacket and everything else. I wasn't about to buy another one.
Right.
So, what happened now? After that they gave me an Article 50, which was I had to forfeit some of my pay and I was confined to the area. I couldn't go out off the area or whatever they did. So I was going, through the whole thing again, and then I got 105.5 temperature, and I got really extremely sick, and I went to the hospital. And this was right before Easter, and everybody got an Easter pass, right?
Oh, wow.
So I come back in, and I'm sick as a dog, right? And I just got out of the hospital, and they say, you're going on KP the whole day, right after out of the hospital sick. No pass for you. Oh, I said, oh, fuck this shit, you know what I mean? I said, I'm really tired of this crap. I said, I don't want to stay here and wash dishes, and it was really bad. I know I was sick. I said, look, man, I'm sick. If you don't want to let me go, just let me rest. Nah, you gotta work, you know what I mean? We want to keep you in sight and stuff like that, too. They didn't trust me, So, this got me aggravated, so everybody was getting ready to go home. And I said, hey, I just came off at noon time at KP, right? And I really didn't, all this shit was still going on. They were still telling you to kill this and that and the other thing. And they were still, the usual thing, beating on people and this and that and the other stuff.
Right.
And I was like on about on the verge of either just refusing to train. But I didn't go that far yet. So, everybody's getting ready to say, that shit, I'm going. Put on my my dress uniform, like that, call the cab. Cab came right down in the back of the thing, jumped in with my friend. But this time, I figured, I'm not going home by airplane because they might think I went to the airport. This time I'm going to the railroad station. So I went to the railroad station, got a furlough ticket, half price, because they didn't want your name anyway. They didn't care. They didn't care. So I went back. I was on the back of a cattle train.
Back of a cattle train?
Yeah, but the one down South Carolina, it was just one of the off-hour trains, so it was in back. Came in around midnight. I had to wait for the station from 8 in the evening to about midnight. So, it was one car in the back. The train took 18 hours to get up there. It stopped at every little stop that you could possibly stop at. As
You
were
must have
going
been
up to
fucking
the city. So I went out and I talked to a cow.
What do you think about life?
Yeah, well, I went out in the back. So, this is just what was going on. And I saw a lot of shitty towns, shanties, people living in poverty and stuff like that, because it stopped a lot of the...
This is what you were protecting for.
Yeah. So I finally got home, and this time I didn't go home. I went to the movies. And I went to the movies and I saw Bonnie and Clyde. Went there to see that. And then I said, well, now I'm going to call up my people and tell them I'm home.
You were ready.
So I called them up. I know you're out. They called me up. They said, just do it again. I told them, I said, this time, either you're going to keep me there or I'm not going to come back.
Oh,
So he said, all right, come home, we'll see what we can do. I was trying all different things. So I finally said, look, they're going to come up here after you. You got to do something, commit yourself. I said, I'm not crazy, why do I got to commit myself? Your doctor advises you to commit yourself because that's the only way you can buy some time.
God, commit yourself.
So this time I got really stoned. I went out and bought all kinds of, all my connections years ago. I got all the pills and I got high as a son of a bitch on ups, as I used to be an up feed, and my eyes bulging out like that. Well, my father saw me like that. My old bulging like that. They got my uncle and they got me and they grabbed me and they twisted my arm and they threw me in a cab and put me up to St. Albans Naval Hospital and they committed me.
God.
So when I'm over there, and I said, ah, shit, my eyes are like this and stuff like that. So
Really lit up.
like that, and so they take me into the psychiatrist's office. are you going to go back to the Army? I said, over my dead body, am I going to go back there? And I said, you should go back there. And I got up and they said, hold it, like that, take it easy. Like that, so they gave me an examination and I was yelling and screaming and stuff like that. Oh, we better give him a sedative. So they gave me a big shot of Thorazine and put me to sleep. Next morning I woke up, was in this bed, in a ward, a crazy ward. Really, really loonies are up there.
The real loonies were up there. You were up there, perfectly sane.
And I was picking with all these crazy people. I mean, like there was a Marine with long hair and a big long beard, and he said, like that. They wanted me to shave my beard and they wanted me to cut my hair. Yeah, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm getting out soon. Like that and stuff like that.
Wow.
And then all he did was play Bob Dylan records, so I used to go in there. He was about the only one I really could relate to anyway. He was about the sanest one that was there.
You're insane when you finish with something like that, right?
No, then the doctor. So I'm going in to see psychiatrists every once in a while, but I never got called in to see the big psychiatrist.
Big
and then,
P, huh?
Yeah, but then every morning we had him made for the big P. Because he would come by and say hello to us. Hello, 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 hello. And there was one guy that was there that used to just sit in bed. He wouldn't get up, do nothing. And he'd say hello, and he'd just go ahead, shake his head like that.
God.
And then after that, they would have group therapy.
These are old guys who flipped out. You know?
Yeah. And then they would have group therapy.
Therapy.
Yeah. And these people are all flipped out. And I'm over here. I called up I said to the psychiatrist, look, man, I said, I don't belong here. I said, you're the ones that are crazy, not me. Like that. And the psychiatrist looked at me and says, oh, we got to do something with you. And then they put me on basket weaving. I went downstairs and painted ashtrays in my name, made baskets, to calm me down. And then they said if I was good, they let me go downstairs to eat because they figured out from my first analysis that I wasn't violent.
Oh my God.
So I went down to eat, and then I finally got to see the big man, like that. And he's all asking me all different kind of questions. And then he asked me one question that was really, really good, and I told you this one.
Were these all military doctors, psychiatrists?
Yes, naval psychiatrists. So he asked me if I was on a boat and a big tree-headed monster came up behind me. I don't know why he asked me this. And said, and was attacking your ship, what would you do? And I said, well, I get my 35mm howitzer cannon and blow his heads off. And he says, where did you get the howitzer cannons? I said, the same place where you got your monster.
Oh, beautiful! Beautiful!
And after that, he just, like that,
zapped him right out.
That, he said, well, before this, he was asking me what I thought of the Army. I told him I thought it sucked, and I thought they were all a bunch of insane people. I said, I think you're insane. I said, in fact, the only people that I think are sane are probably the ones that are laying in the beds out there. And he's going like that. So then he wouldn't let me go out to eat no more, like that, right? But he wrote me out saying, discharge, he recommended me for discharge because I was emotionally unstable.
Oh my God.
But that's only recommendation.
That's a kill, right? Emotionally unstable.
That was a recommendation. That was the only recommendation. This was a naval hospital, it wasn't an Army hospital. So then they said, well, we're sending you back to Fort Jackson. I said, no, I'm not going back to Fort Jackson. And I said, well, let me tell you, you said you're going to have to come up here with people with guns to get me to go back to Fort Jackson.
God.
And that's what they did. They sent them 2 MPs.
Really?
They sent 2 MPs with guns.
And they came to get you?
Yeah, and they said, we're going to take you back to, well, they didn't actually going to take me back because I wasn't a deserter, because I wasn't gone 30 days. But they were going to take me to a place underneath a New York City police station. They have a military police station on the bottom floor underneath it. You never knew this. They do have these things.
Oh, wow.
And they were going to decide what they were going to do for me there. So they put me in cuffs.
Oh, my God.
And led me out into a thing. And then one person said, do you want to go back to the Army? Boy, this big head of the MPs. And I told him, this is about the only sane person I ever met in the Army, this big MP, the head of it, right? Because I was really aggravated and nervous and shit like that. And he says, well, if you don't want to you want to get out of the Army, do you or yourself afraid? Just stay calm and just go, and you can work things out as you go down.
That was it. That was the calm state.
Yeah, that was but that was about, you know.
The most
So here I am now, in between one guy who was a deserter for about 6 months, and this other guy over here that felt guilty about going AWOL during World War II and being a deserter, and he turned himself in.
Are you really seriously?
He's this old guy. And I'm riding, I'm haircut to this guy. And this guy, I think he must have been a little nuts. Oh, I feel so guilty. I cut out. I go, what? As I'm right alongside of him, I'm squashing the back of this MP's car, and I'm over the back, and I go, why do you feel so guilty for it? It says, after 35 years, I should have served my country, and stuff like that. Like that. And I go,
it must have flipped him out.
I'm going like that. I've been living in fear for 30 years and stuff like that. I can't take it no more. And this other guy was a black dude who was on beside of me going, oh shit, man, this guy's too much. And I go like that. And I'm going, oh, I can't stand this. I can't wait to get the fuck out of this car. That's what he like that. And the guy goes, guy in back of me giving me a cigarette. Here, have a cigarette. Call yourself. Ooh, this guy was gonna go crazy. So finally, they got down to the place where we had to go and took us out. We all changed from one another, walking like that.
My God.
So one guy the guy who was gone 6 months, he got off. Forget about it. Oh, you're going back. We boom, blah 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 blah, like that. Oh, we're gonna make sure you're going boom. They put him in a cage in the back, and they kept him there because he was gonna go back. The guy that was crying about the army, they made him sit down over there saying, we'll work out something for you to get you discharged and stuff like that. Me, they said, well, we don't have to incarcerate you because you aren't considered a deserter. So you got a choice. Do you want us to take you back, or do you want to go back yourself? So I said, all right, I'll go back myself. So they took the cuffs off of me. Here I am in this army uniform with a beard, half-ass beard that I grew in when I was up in the war. And people are looking at me in the street with this. It's all wrinkled. Like that. I walk, get on the subway. I'm like,
they told you just to go back.
So I went back on my own. So I took a couple of days, and I said, I'm not going. Fuck them. I'm not going back. It's all my fault to get there. You're going back. They had the letter and everything like that. So they took me back down there, right?
Your father?
Yeah, he took me back down again, right? I went back down there, and the guy comes in, the Sergeant Zuby, and he saw me come in, and he just sat there and went like this. And he said, you gotta go see the captain. So the captain's, my father said, here's the letter, he's supposed to get out, and like that. Well, we can't take him out because that's only the Navy. We got to make sure from our own what's going on. So I had to go to another psychiatrist down there.
The big P there.
The big P over there. So the captain drove me there in his car with my father in the back. And you can see the captain, some eyes bulging out like me back there. And I'm back there smiling like that. So I get to see the big P.
Was the captain upset with you? Was he like polite? Was he,
And he looked a little aggravated because I had spoiled C-51's biggest... No, I was the first one to go AWOL.
Oh my God, really?
That successfully went AWOL once, and I did it twice.
Oh my God.
So, I get to see the big P at, the Navy guy. The guy goes, what do you do to have fun? And I said, I'm over here. I say, well, I do what everybody else does to have fun. He goes, well, what do you do to have fun? I said, the same thing you do to have fun. And stuff like that. He says, but what do you do to have fun? I want to know what you do to have fun. I said, I don't think it's any goddamn business what I do to have fun. You know what I mean? He says, listen, I'm the psychiatrist. What do you do to have fun? So I got up. He said, you know what I do to have fun? As I get myself stoned so I can forget about this place. That's what I do to have fun. Like that. So I looked at it. And I know what I did. I didn't actually just jump up on his thing. I climbed on his desk. And looked down at him. And he looked at me and he wrote something on this, like this. Get him out! Like that.
The poor guy was...
Looks like you were really up war, right? He's off the wall.
Okay, so they brought me down here now. Now here's where I really went through a lot of my shit. This is really bad. Now this is when the bad stuff started to happen.
Really long, Nick?
Yeah, it's long. It's long. Right. I think you...
I tell you what we're going to do, Paul. We're going to have this show on again. We're going to have you on again next week. And so it's the same thing with Steve, okay?
Yeah.
Let's say, for example, right now, we'll
Yeah, got me on to the point where I came back from my second AWOL and
Right. Okay. So what we're gonna do.
It's a
next-
long story, you know. Like
Alright,
I've been
so-
in, like, you know,
so-
I got trying to.
All right. So next week.
Everything that happens.
Next week we're gonna continue this story about the mad adventures of Paul Reese with the and Steve Russell, and we're gonna have just breaking the illusions of what the good life is in the army. Okay. This is Eric Vaughn.